Hey guys, Yankee here, and today I want to be giving my thoughts on Tenchi Muyo, Ryo-Ohki, OVA 2, the picture drama. So I don't know, when this opened it said it was Here Comes Dry Part 2. So I'm going to assume when this was originally coming out on VHS and I think Laserdiscs, that this was just something that played after the episode. And this is something I don't go back to ever. I watched this one time before and I haven't gone back to it, so I didn't actually remember what it was about. I assumed that it was just going to be, I knew it was about Washu and Mihoshi, so I had assumed it was just going to be sort of a retread of, I think it was OVA 1 episode 7, where Mihoshi just stumbles into Washu's lab and then messes things up. But that's not really what it was at all. So, what is a picture drama? Let's get that out of the way real quick. It is a halfway point between an audio drama and actual animation. So we have more images here than I even remembered or thought was going to be here. It gets it's kind of front loaded where alright, we have Mihoshi walking into Washu's lab, but we don't see animation of her walking. We just have a couple still images of Mihoshi standing in different places and looking different ways. And so we get a scene of Washu's lab where Washu is invisible, and then we get one we see her sort of enter the frame, but not animated in, just sort of appear leaning back to look at Mihoshi. It's an interesting thing, and I'm kind of I kind of like it. I only know of one other. I've only seen 2 picture dramas ever. Both of them are Tenchi Muyo. There's this one from OVA 2, and then there's another Tenchi Muyo one that got uploaded to YouTube. I don't know what it came with, but it's not story relevant to anything. It's just an old Japanese fairy tale or something, but using Tenchi characters. But anyway, a picture drama is just audio with some images that sort of change, almost like a slideshow, but not quite. It's neat. So basically, again, Mihoshi goes to Washu's lab, and we see Washu is doing experiments on Ryoko, sort of how, again, OVA 1 episode 7, where she just has Tenchi tied up and hanging there. She's doing that with Ryoko, and Ryoko just sort of is stuck there the whole this whole 7 minutes that this little thing is. And then it just becomes Mihoshi and Washu sitting at a table sort of talking. And this is where, again, now there's not as much images changing. It's just them sitting there. And we get a follow-up on what happened to Clay, because OVA 2 episode 5 ends with Clay being arrested by Mihoshi, Washu giving her the vase that Clay really liked and smashing it. And so we get questions about that, Washu's well, how's Clay doing? And Mihoshi explains, alright, he was pretty upset about the whole thing. And then Washu asks, alright, well, what about the gift that I sent him? It's yeah, I gave him the gift, and his face turned pale, and then he started freaking out even more than before. Then we get a little bit of info on the vase for no real reason. It's not a real antique, so there's no reason for Clay to actually be Clay didn't know that it wasn't a real antique or whatever. But it's a fake, and Washu actually made that fake thousands of years ago because she needed some money. So that's neat. And then we get Mihoshi talking to Washu about Clay and how Galaxy Police wants to borrow Zero, which is now Ryoko, because Clay's memories about Tokimi are just gone. They disappeared. And then Washu explains, Ryoko's memories or Zero's memories of Tokimi, which now should be in Ryoko, are also just gone. And talking about how it doesn't feel like it was just memory wiping. It feels I forget how Washu explained it, but a fail-safe or something. Because everything went wrong, the memories just disappeared, and nobody came and wiped away the memories. It was something that was prepped to disappear if something went wrong, or something like that. And so, that's about half of it. The first half of this is just like a follow-up to episode 5, which, again, we didn't really get that in the actual episode 6, because episode 6 was all about Azusa, Funaho, and Misaki, and, like, jury politics and stuff like that. So Mihoshi leaves, and then Washu leaves, and we get, like, a scene of Ryoko still just hanging, calling for Washu, like, hey, Washu, Washu, Washu. Eventually just saying, Washu-chan, Washu-chan, like, trying to be nice about it, trying to get Washu to come back, because they just left her hanging there, and she can't get down. Then we cut to Tokimi, and this is the part that I didn't remember was here at all. Like, Mihoshi and Washu just hanging out in the lab, I remembered that. As soon as I saw Ryoko hanging, I remembered that bit as well. I didn't know Tokimi appeared at all in this. And so we don't really get a whole lot from Tokimi. It's all, like, really vague, sort of talking about nothing, really. We get, I forget what his name is, but, like, the big head that was the first one to interact with Clay when he showed up here. He appears and tells Tokimi, like, alright, their memories are gone, it's all good. Okay. And then Tokimi sort of vaguely talks about a person, and then talks about the future, and then that head talks about, like, are you looking into the future? And, again, she's all very vague about it. And then there's a mention of her sisters, like, what are you doing there, my sisters? That's it. Again, all very vague, without really saying much. Like, and it's a point where, I don't know if maybe I just misread something, or, like, I don't understand which boy she is talking about. Is she talking about Tenchi, or is she talking about Z? Because at the end of this we get, like, a brief look at Z as well, and she basically tells the head, like, alright, don't mess with him, or something like that. So again, everything about it is very vague. It's just a bunch of questions that will be followed up on in OVA 3, which won't come out for, like, 10 years. But it was neat, and it's just setting up questions to be eventually tied up in the next OVA. But this is more, like, this whole picture drama thing ends up being more, like, it's not important. I don't think you need to watch this. But it is, like, worthwhile, at least once. Like, again, having it follow up on the Clay stuff, which is not needed, but is nice. Getting a little bit more from Tokimi is also nice, because up until this point, we really haven't actually seen much of her. We saw her briefly in OVA 1, and then we saw her just in, like, that one episode with Clay. I don't think we saw her after that. I don't remember. Again, then we see a silhouette of Z, which we saw at the end of episode 5, maybe? And then we go back to Ryoko, who is now, like, crying and acting like a child, sort of calling for Washu. And we see Washu sort of, like, peeking out from behind a corner with a video camera, taping it, and being like, ah, yes, moments like this, or something a mother loves, or something like that. Anyway, I've talked more about this little picture drama than it actually is in length. This is a 7-minute video. Or, like, the picture drama is 7 minutes, and I've already talked for, like, 8.5. This is worthwhile. It's not, like, anything necessary. You can probably skip it and have no issue whatsoever. But I do think it's worth watching if you're going to watch through all the Tenchi Muyo stuff. I'm glad I watched it again, because I didn't remember really what it was about. But yeah, it's neat. I like picture dramas, kind of. Like, it's just like a cheap midpoint between a drama CD and an actual animated episode. I think it's kind of neat. I don't know if Tenchi has more than the 2 that I mentioned, but, like, I wouldn't be opposed to getting, like, another little 7-minute video like this at, like, the end of OVA 5, if they had done that, or something like that, right? It's neat. Yeah, I liked it. Watch it if you're watching through OVAs. It's worth your time. It's only 7 minutes. So yeah, thanks for watching. And now with this, I'm actually done with OVA 2, and I can move on. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.